You've spent decades working. Perhaps you were a teacher, shaping young minds day in and day out. Maybe you were an engineer, designing bridges or intricate circuits. You might have run a small business, pouring your heart and soul into it, or worked diligently in an office, meeting deadlines and collaborating with colleagues. Whatever your path, your days had a rhythm, a structure largely dictated by your career. There were places to be, tasks to accomplish, problems to solve, people counting on you. Your identity, in many ways, might have felt deeply intertwined with what you did for a living. And then, one day, that chapter closed. Retirement arrived, perhaps eagerly anticipated, maybe approached with a little apprehension, or possibly a mix of both. The alarm clock might still ring out of habit, or maybe it's been silenced for good. The commute is gone. The deadlines have vanished. The daily interactions with co-workers are now memories. And in the space left behind, you might find yourself asking a quiet, persistent question. Now what? What do I do all day? How do I find meaning when the structure I knew for so long has dissolved? This transition, this stepping away from a long-held career into the wide-open landscape of retirement, is one of the most significant shifts you'll experience in life. It's often painted as a golden era, a time of well-deserved rest and endless leisure. And for many, it absolutely holds that promise. There's relief in shedding the pressures and stresses of the working world. There's joy in having the freedom to pursue hobbies, travel, or simply relax without the constant demands of a job. You might have spent years looking forward to this exact moment, dreaming of sleeping in, tending your garden, spending unhurried time with grandchildren, or finally tackling that stack of books by your bedside. That initial period, sometimes called the honeymoon phase of retirement, can feel wonderful, like a long overdue vacation. But as the weeks turn into months and the novelty of complete freedom begins to wear off, a different set of feelings can emerge. The lack of a defined schedule, which initially felt liberating, might start to feel like aimlessness. The quiet house, once a peaceful sanctuary from a noisy workplace, might begin to feel a little too empty. You might miss the sense of accomplishment that came from completing a challenging project, the camaraderie of your team, or even just the simple routine of getting ready and going somewhere with a clear purpose each morning. It's incredibly common and perfectly normal to feel a sense of disorientation, boredom, or even a touch of melancholy as you navigate this new terrain. You might find yourself wondering, is this all there is? Or feeling a pang of loss for the professional identity you carried for so long. Who are you now that you're no longer defined by your job title? It's important to acknowledge that this feeling isn't a sign of failure, nor does it mean you're not doing retirement right. It simply reflects the profound impact that work has on our lives, not just financially, but psychologically and socially. Our careers often provide us with regular social interaction, mental stimulation, a sense of contributing something valuable, and, critically, a structure for our days and weeks. When that framework is removed, it's natural to feel a bit adrift. Think about it. For perhaps 40 or 50 years, you had a built-in reason to get up, get dressed, and engage with the world in a specific way. Your schedule was largely predetermined. Now, you have potentially 16 waking hours each day stretching before you. A blank canvas waiting to be filled. While exciting, that sheer amount of unstructured time can also feel surprisingly overwhelming, even paralyzing. You might find yourself procrastinating on tasks you thought you'd enjoy, simply because there's no external pressure or deadline compelling you to act. The days can start to blend together, marked only by meals or television schedules, leading to a feeling of stagnation. Furthermore, retirement often coincides with other life changes. Your health might be different than it was decades ago, potentially limiting some activities you envisioned. Your social circle might shift as former colleagues move on, or your own priorities change. Your spouse or partner might still be working, leading to different daily rhythms within the household, or they might have retired alongside you, bringing its own set of adjustments as you learn to navigate this new phase together, 24/7. Financial situations can also influence the choices available. All these factors contribute to the complexity of this transition. It's not just about not working, it's about redefining your life, your purpose, and your daily existence in a fundamentally new context. You might see friends who seem to have effortlessly transitioned into busy, fulfilling retirements filled with travel, volunteering, and new hobbies, and wonder why you're struggling to find your footing. Remember, everyone's journey is unique, and comparing yourself rarely helps. What matters is understanding your own feelings and recognizing the need to proactively shape this new chapter. The good news, the truly wonderful news, is that retirement doesn't have to be an endpoint or a period of aimless drifting. It holds immense potential to be a time of incredible growth, discovery, connection, and deep satisfaction. It's an opportunity to reconnect with parts of yourself that may have been dormant during your working years, to explore new interests, to deepen relationships, and to find new ways to contribute your wisdom and experience to the world around you. Finding purpose and structure after a long career isn't about replicating your old work life. It's about consciously designing a new life, one that aligns with who you are now and what truly matters to you in this phase. It requires intention, a bit of exploration, and a willingness to experiment. In our journey together through this discussion, we're going to delve into exactly that: how you can navigate this transition and build a retirement that feels both structured and meaningful. We won't pretend there's a single magic formula, because there isn't. Your path will be your own. But we will explore practical strategies, mindsets, and possibilities that have helped countless others find their way. In the next chapter, we'll dive into the heart of the matter, looking at concrete ways to build a fulfilling daily rhythm. We'll explore how rediscovering old passions or cultivating new hobbies can provide immense satisfaction. We'll discuss the power of learning and keeping your mind active. We'll consider the vital role of social connection and how finding your tribe can combat loneliness and enrich your days. We'll also touch upon the surprising fulfillment that can come from volunteering or finding other ways to contribute your unique skills and experience. Think of this as laying the groundwork, understanding the why behind the potential feelings of restlessness, and acknowledging the challenge and the opportunity that retirement presents. Now, let's get ready to explore the how, the practical steps you can take to build that purposeful and structured life you deserve in the chapters ahead. All right, we've acknowledged that feeling of being a little adrift after the structure of work disappears. It's a common experience, nothing to feel discouraged about. Now, let's move into the truly constructive part, exploring concrete ways you can build a retirement that feels both purposeful and comfortably structured, tailored specifically to you. This isn't about recreating the rigid demands of your old job, but about weaving a flexible framework that brings satisfaction, engagement, and a sense of direction to your days. Think of it less like building a skyscraper and more like tending a garden. It requires planning and regular attention, but it grows organically and brings unique beauty. One of the most fundamental places to start is with establishing a gentle routine. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. I retired to get away from routines. And that's perfectly understandable. The goal here isn't to impose a strict minute-by-minute schedule reminiscent of punching a time clock. Rather, it's about creating predictable anchor points in your day that provide a sense of rhythm and prevent the hours from simply blurring together. Without any structure at all, it's easy to fall into patterns of inactivity or procrastination, which can surprisingly lead to feeling more tired and less motivated. A simple routine can be the scaffolding upon which you build a more fulfilling day. What might this look like? It could be as simple as setting a reasonably consistent time to wake up and go to bed, even if it's later than your working years. This helps regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle, which is crucial for energy levels and mood. Perhaps you establish a morning ritual, enjoying a cup of coffee while reading the newspaper or listening to music, doing some gentle stretches, or taking a short walk. Maybe lunchtime becomes a fixed point, encouraging you to prepare a proper meal instead of grazing aimlessly. Having just a few fixed points like these can provide a surprising amount of psychological comfort and make the wide-open hours feel less daunting. Consider Frank, a retired engineer I knew. He initially reveled in having no schedule, but after a few months, he felt lost. He started small, making sure he got dressed, not staying in pajamas, by 9 a.m. and taking a walk around the block right after breakfast. Just those two simple acts created a launching pad for his day, making him feel more proactive and ready to tackle other things, whether it was gardening or meeting a friend. The key is flexibility. If something comes up, you adjust. It's your routine, designed to serve you, not control you. Flowing naturally from establishing a basic rhythm is the exciting prospect of rediscovering old passions or cultivating entirely new hobbies. Your career likely demanded the lion's share of your time and energy. Think back. What did you love doing before work became all-consuming? Was it painting, playing a musical instrument, woodworking, writing, photography, dancing? Retirement is the golden opportunity to dust off those old interests. Maybe you need to take a refresher course, or perhaps you can just dive right back in. The muscle memory, the spark of enjoyment, is often still there, waiting to be reignited. But equally thrilling is the chance to explore completely new territory. Have you always been curious about birdwatching, genealogy, learning to cook gourmet meals, coding, pottery? The possibilities are truly endless. Don't be afraid to experiment. Sign up for a taster class at the local community college or senior center. Borrow books from the library on different subjects. Watch online tutorials. The beauty of this phase is that there's no pressure to become an expert overnight or ever. The goal is enjoyment, engagement, and the simple pleasure of learning or creating. Remember Margaret, a former head teacher? She always felt she wasn't artistic. On a whim, she joined a local watercolor class for beginners. She was nervous at first, convinced she'd be terrible, but the process of mixing colors, the focus required, the supportive atmosphere, she found it incredibly therapeutic. Her paintings might not hang in galleries, but the joy and satisfaction she gets from her weekly class and her newfound creative outlet have added immense richness to her retirement. Don't underestimate the power of activities done purely for pleasure. They fill time, yes, but more importantly, they nourish your spirit, provide a sense of accomplishment, and can even open doors to new social connections. Be patient with yourself during this exploration. You might try a few things before finding what truly resonates. That process of discovery is part of the adventure. Hand in hand with hobbies often comes the pursuit of lifelong learning and mental stimulation. Your brain, just like your body, thrives on activity. Decades of work likely kept your mind sharp through problem solving, learning new procedures, or managing complex situations. Retirement doesn't mean switching off your intellect. In fact, continuing to learn and challenge your mind is one of the best investments you can make in your long-term cognitive health, helping to keep memory sharp and thinking clear. How can you integrate learning into your life? The options are vast and cater to every interest and learning style. You could enroll in courses. Many universities offer programs specifically for seniors, sometimes audited for free or at a reduced cost. Online platforms offer lectures and courses on virtually any subject imaginable, from history and philosophy to science and technology, often allowing you to learn at your own pace from the comfort of home. Perhaps you prefer less formal learning. Join a book club, engage in stimulating discussions, watch documentaries, visit museums and historical sites. Learn a new language. Apps make this more accessible than ever. Or tackle challenging puzzles like crosswords or Sudoku. Even staying informed about current events engages your critical thinking skills. Consider George, who spent his career in finance. In retirement, he decided to finally delve into astronomy, a subject that had fascinated him since childhood. He bought a telescope, joined a local astronomy club, and started reading books and watching documentaries. Learning about the cosmos gave him a sense of wonder, intellectual challenge, and connected him with a new community of enthusiasts. The key is finding something that genuinely interests you. Learning shouldn't feel like homework. It should feel like an exciting exploration, expanding your horizons and keeping your mental faculties vibrant. Of course, structure and purpose are rarely found in isolation. Nurturing social connections and engaging with your community is absolutely vital for a fulfilling retirement. Your workplace might have been your primary source of social interaction for many years. Suddenly, losing that daily contact can lead to feelings of loneliness and isolation, which we know can have significant impacts on both mental and physical health. Retirement is the perfect time to intentionally cultivate your social life. Reconnect with old friends you may have lost touch with during your busy working years. Make regular dates for coffee, lunch, or phone calls. Spend more quality time with family, perhaps taking on a more active role with grandchildren if that's part of your life. But also, be open to forging new connections. This often happens naturally when pursuing hobbies or learning activities, as mentioned before. Joining clubs or groups centered around shared interests, gardening clubs, walking groups, card groups, choirs, travel clubs, is a fantastic way to meet like-minded people. Senior centers offer a wealth of activities and opportunities for socializing. Consider attending events at your local library, community center, or place of worship. Don't underestimate the power of informal neighborhood connections either. Chatting with neighbors, attending local events. Think about Helen, whose husband passed away shortly after she retired. She felt incredibly lonely. Hesitantly, she joined a knit and natter group at her local community center. While she wasn't an expert knitter, the weekly gatherings provided companionship, laughter, and a sense of belonging that made a world of difference to her well-being. Building and maintaining social ties requires effort, especially if you're naturally introverted. But the rewards, companionship, support, shared experiences, and a feeling of belonging are immeasurable. Finally, let's talk about finding purpose through contribution, often through volunteering. For many, a significant part of work identity was tied to feeling useful, making a difference, or applying hard-won skills. Retirement doesn't mean your skills and experience suddenly become redundant. In fact, your lifetime of knowledge is an incredibly valuable asset. Volunteering allows you to channel that experience, contribute to causes you care about, and regain that sense of making a meaningful impact, all while adding structure to your week. The range of volunteer opportunities is enormous. Hospitals, libraries, schools, animal shelters, food banks, museums, environmental organizations, they all rely heavily on volunteers. You could mentor young people, help adults learn to read, provide companionship to isolated seniors, assist with administrative tasks for a nonprofit, help maintain park trails, or use specific professional skills like accounting or marketing to support a cause. Think about what issues matter most to you. What kind of environment would you enjoy? How much time are you willing and able to commit? Many organizations offer flexible roles. Consider David, a retired electrician. He started volunteering 1 day a week with a local charity that builds homes for low-income families. Using his practical skills felt incredibly rewarding. He enjoyed the camaraderie with other volunteers, and he knew he was making a tangible difference in people's lives. It gave him a powerful sense of purpose that simple leisure activities couldn't replicate. Volunteering not only benefits the community, but also boosts your own sense of self-worth, provides social interaction, keeps you active, and can even expose you to new perspectives. It's a powerful way to structure your time around something deeply meaningful. Integrating these elements, a gentle routine, engaging hobbies, continuous learning, social connection, and meaningful contribution doesn't happen overnight. It's a process of exploration and adjustment. But by intentionally focusing on these areas, you can gradually build a rich, textured life in retirement that provides both the structure you might be missing and the deep sense of purpose that makes each day feel valuable and rewarding. These aren't just ways to fill time, they are pathways to a vibrant and fulfilling next chapter. So we've journeyed together through this significant life transition, the move from a long, structured career into the open landscape of retirement. We started by acknowledging that feeling, that sense of now what, which can surface once the rhythms of work fade away. It's that moment when the initial relief or excitement might give way to a feeling of unstructured emptiness, perhaps even a touch of boredom or a questioning of your identity now that your professional role has changed. We recognized that this feeling is incredibly common and perfectly understandable. For decades, your days had a built-in framework, purpose often derived from your professional responsibilities, and social connections readily available through colleagues. Removing that framework, however welcome retirement might be, inevitably requires a period of adjustment, a time to consciously rebuild and redefine. It's not just about stopping work. It's about starting a new way of living. And it's okay, even necessary, to feel your way into it. Then, we delved into the practical heart of the matter, exploring concrete strategies you can employ to weave purpose and structure back into your days, not as a rigid cage, but as a supportive trellis upon which a fulfilling retirement can grow. We talked about the surprising power of establishing a gentle routine. Remember, this isn't about recreating the pressure of a work schedule, but about creating simple anchor points, a consistent wake-up time, a morning ritual like a walk or reading the paper, a designated lunchtime. These small acts provide a rhythm, combat aimlessness, and create a foundation from which you can intentionally build your day, just as Frank found by simply getting dressed and taking that initial walk. It's about providing just enough structure to make freedom feel manageable and productive, rather than overwhelming. We explored the immense joy and satisfaction that can come from rekindling old passions or bravely cultivating entirely new hobbies. Whether it's picking up that paintbrush again, learning the guitar you always dreamed of playing, or discovering a fascination for something completely unexpected like Margaret did with her watercolor class. Engaging in activities purely for enjoyment is profoundly nourishing. It fills time, yes, but more crucially, it stimulates your mind, sparks creativity, offers a sense of accomplishment detached from any external validation, and can be a wonderful source of personal growth and simple happiness. Retirement offers the precious gift of time to dedicate to these soul-feeding pursuits. We underscored the vital importance of lifelong learning and keeping your mind actively engaged. Just as physical activity keeps your body healthy, mental stimulation is key to cognitive vitality. We discussed the myriad ways to achieve this, from formal courses at universities or online platforms to joining book clubs, visiting museums, learning a language, tackling puzzles, or simply staying curious about the world like George with his exploration of astronomy. Engaging your intellect not only helps maintain memory and sharp thinking, but also broadens your horizons, introduces new ideas, and provides a deep sense of ongoing development and connection to the world beyond your immediate daily life. Crucially, we highlighted the irreplaceable value of nurturing social connections and engaging with your community. Loneliness can be a significant challenge in retirement, especially if your primary social outlet was work. We emphasized the need to be intentional about maintaining relationships with existing friends and family, but also the importance of forging new bonds, joining clubs, attending senior center activities, participating in local events, or even just chatting with neighbors. These interactions combat isolation, provide emotional support, create shared experiences, and foster that essential feeling of belonging, as Helen discovered in her knitting group. Human connection is fundamental to our well-being at every stage of life, and perhaps never more so than when the built-in social structures of work are gone. And finally, we considered the powerful sense of purpose that can arise from contribution, particularly through volunteering. Your wealth of experience and skills doesn't vanish upon retirement. It becomes a valuable resource you can choose to share. Finding a cause you care about and dedicating some of your time, whether it's using specific professional skills like David the electrician or offering general help at a local charity, school, or hospital, provides a profound sense of making a difference. It connects you to the wider community, offers structure, fosters social interaction, and fulfills that innate human desire to be useful and contribute something meaningful beyond oneself. Now, stepping back, what does all this mean in the bigger picture? It means recognizing that retirement isn't a passive waiting period. It's an active life stage brimming with potential. It requires a fundamental shift in mindset. You are transitioning from an identity largely defined by external factors, your job title, your company, your professional achievements, to an identity that you consciously shape from within, based on your interests, your values, and your choices about how you spend your time. This is your opportunity to author the next chapter, perhaps the longest and most self-directed chapter of your life. Think of this time not as an epilogue, but as a whole new volume. It holds the potential for immense personal growth and self-discovery. Perhaps you'll uncover talents you never knew you had, develop interests that surprise you, or forge relationships that enrich your life in unexpected ways. This requires embracing a certain amount of exploration and experimentation. You might try volunteering somewhere and find it's not the right fit. You might start a hobby and realize it doesn't hold your interest. That's perfectly all right. The process of discovering what does bring you joy, structure, and purpose is part of the journey itself. Be patient and kind to yourself, just as you would be with a friend navigating a major life change. It's also a time to reflect on what truly matters. Freed from the daily demands of a career, you have the space to consider your legacy not just in terms of professional accomplishments, but in terms of the relationships you nurture, the wisdom you share, the kindness you offer, and the way you engage with the world each day. There's a profound value in simply being present, in appreciating the small joys, a sunny morning, a good conversation, the satisfaction of tending a garden or finishing a book. This stage of life offers a unique perspective, a chance to integrate a lifetime of experiences and focus on quality of life in its broadest sense. So, let me leave you with this encouragement. You hold the brush to paint the canvas of your retirement. You have the agency, the power, and the wisdom to design a life that feels meaningful and structured to you. It might not look like your neighbor's retirement or the idealized images you sometimes see, and that's more than okay. It needs to fit your personality, your energy levels, your interests, and your definition of a life well lived. Don't feel pressured to be constantly busy or to achieve grand things unless that's genuinely what you desire. Purpose can be found in quiet contemplation as much as in active contribution. Structure can be gentle and flexible, serving you rather than dictating to you. It's never too late to start implementing small changes. Pick just one idea we discussed, maybe reaching out to an old friend, looking up a local volunteer opportunity, or borrowing a library book on a topic that sparks your curiosity. Small steps, taken consistently, build momentum and create new patterns. Trust in your ability to navigate this transition. You've navigated countless challenges and changes throughout your life and career, and you possess the resilience and resourcefulness to shape this chapter too. Embrace the freedom, explore the possibilities, and give yourself permission to create a retirement that is not just an absence of work, but a presence of joy, connection, and purpose. This time is yours. It's a vast, open field of opportunity waiting for you to explore, to cultivate, to simply enjoy. May you find the rhythm that suits your soul, the activities that bring you delight, the connections that warm your heart, and the sense of purpose that makes each day feel like a gift. Your journey continues, and it holds the potential to be incredibly rich and rewarding. Go forward and craft the retirement that truly resonates with who you are now.